Hi, and welcome to CHS Alumni Talk. I'm your host, Heather Lindstedt, the Capital Campaign Director of the Chelmsford High School Alumni Association and a proud 1985 grad. I am joined today by Geraldine Rondo Shera, right? Class of 98.
That's right, yes.
Welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I've roped you in because you're a board member of the Alumni Association. So tell me about that and how you kind of heard about that and decided that you wanted to be a part of the Alumni Association.
Sure. So it's my first year as a board member, and about a year ago or so, I was trying to think about how I could sort of get back into the community. I was born and raised here, and I work here now, and I just kind of wanted to find a way to just sort of give back. So I started looking up things about Chelmsford High School, and I came upon the website, and it said, you know, looking for a board member at the time. It was like,
yeah.
you know, sort of whatever. And I was like, all right, well, I didn't know I was going to jump into something like that, but I did, and I ended up getting in contact, and Terry McSheehy was so gracious and said, you know, we are looking for somebody. If you're interested, you know, come to a meeting and see what you think. And so I did, and when I walked in the room, I saw some really familiar faces, and I was like, okay. It was like going right back to where I left off, you know, so it was really nice.
It is kind of shocking, though, when you have to call Mr. Simonian George, or I don't know if you had Dennis Hunt, but as a teacher, and you got to call him Dennis and those kind of things. So it's a little strange sometimes in those board meetings and having them as teachers, right?
Certainly, because I definitely had a lot of them as teachers. One in particular, Mr. Thomas, was a dean at the time.
Okay.
So I'm still not quite there yet. I feel like he's going to be Mr. Thomas for kind of a long time. Okay. But I'll see how that goes along the way. Well,
you know, and you were great for Giving Day. And I know you're working on membership and those kind of things, but for Giving Day, kind of the same thing that we just hosted. Saw a lot of great deans and those kind of things, and I got reminded by Miss Williams that, you know, I had to call her Nancy and stuff like that. So, so that's kind of a change for me, though, too. And I know I'm a lot older than you, so I'm still having a hard time with it, but we'll get around to that.
Yeah.
But as far as membership, were you surprised about the numbers, or you know, of where we should go with membership, or those kind of things? And what do you think? I mean, I think pretty much activities such as some of the fundraising, I think, is going to help with membership and people getting to know about it. But how do you think that we can get the young people of Chelmsford High School, or just young grads, to join the Alumni Association?
Well, I think definitely some of the events that have been taking place are really going to get some recognition. I think when people start to see that there is an association where you can be a part of, that as you are, you know, moving through your career and, you know, sort of looking for a place to reconnect to your roots at Chelmsford High School, I think having all of these events is really helping get the exposure and really bringing attention to the fact that there is this association that you can come back to, you know, whether it be 5 years after high school, 10 years, 20 years. I'm at 20 years right now. So
you've got the big class reunion.
Yes, in November. So yes, it's been 20 years. So I think it's just all of that recognition is really helping us realize, wow, there is this connection that you can make with where you came from, you know, and it's going to be really helpful to continue with this to increase membership. And membership is important because it brings people's awareness to what is available through the association. There's so much, and I really didn't have any idea until I was a part of the board. Now I'm seeing just all the opportunity, and there's so much opportunity for alumni, you know, whether it be, you know, induction to the Hall of Fame. It's an incredible program. I just went to that as well, and just recognizing all the success of the Chelmsford High School alumni. It's incredible. I was just so blown away by how much talent has come through this town. Like it's just incredible. So that's something, and certainly, you know, looking back on when I finished up with high school and I made the decision to move forward with college, and myself personally, I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I felt like it was important to have the college experience for me, so I went through and I did that. But it would have been super helpful to be able to have some kind of connection to the high school that I just left, in case if I needed some guidance, you know. So the programs are available now, like the SHARE program.
Yeah, the SHARE program. It was, you know, we had the first night in January. We had some great keynote speakers. From Peter Reynolds to Sal Poli, Bob Brown. and I guess I have to mention my brother. He'd
Yeah, you
be
should.
upset, Russell Instead.
You should probably mention that. He was great, by the way. Just, not trying to, make his head any bigger, but he was good.
Yeah, but the share night, and we need to get the young high school people and the parents that are watching today. We've got to get those high school students to sign up. I mean, you are absolutely right. I mean, to have somebody be a mentor, and as a student, if I could just ask somebody, and it would have been the same thing. I mean, I was thinking between the University of New Hampshire or Providence College, and two completely different schools, right? I mean, a bigger school, a state school, and a private school at Providence College. And if I could have just emailed, now we didn't have email back then, so I would have had to pick up the phone, but just have phoned somebody and say, hey, why did you choose that school? I mean, that would be incredible. And I think when you move away from the town of Chelmsford and then you come back, you realize that you want to stay there. And even if you're in California, you could be part of the SHARE program, right? And so you could have a connection as an alum being in California. But if you have, like some of the Hall of Famers, the Hall of Fame that writes for The Simpsons there.
Great example of that, yes.
Because I think people that are probably great artists at Chelmsford, you probably don't know what to do with your talent sometimes. Right. And if you could reach out to somebody that's already had that kind of success. And I think that the same thing going forward with hopefully the Lions Link, which would be a networking thing, right? So you graduate in 4 years, and you need a job.
Yes.
And what better way is to reach out to somebody that, from Chelmsford. So if you have that same mentor from the SHARE program, and you keep that connection, right?
Yes, it would just be such an incredible opportunity for people to have that. And it's at your fingertips, you know what I mean? And that Chelmsford connection really brings people together. It's astounding. I can't believe how many people just would have such a good experience connecting with people that, are right in their pocket, really.
Yeah, well, I mean, and I think that's, and you just said it, the Hall of Fame, if you just went on the website and checked out all of the people and you're looking for a job or you're looking for some information, just look at the Hall of Fame and be like, oh, I need to connect with that person.
Exactly. But to your last point too, like some of the people end up in California, right?
Yeah.
So say that's your goal. You just want to be in California. You've dreamed of the sun. Sorry, Chelmsford, it's a little cold with the snow, right? So say you're dreaming of California and you're connected through this Lions Link program or the SHARE program, and you find yourself, going to a company for an interview, and you find yourself connecting with a person who's from Chelmsford.
Right.
I grew up there. No, you didn't. Where did you go? Whatever. And you talk about all the different things, and you have that instant connection. That's a real possibility. It's direction that you didn't even know you would have.
Right.
And as I mentioned, the success of the people from Chelmsford are near and far, and you just never know what you're going to be, coming across if you just had that, basis of being together. So it's great.
So hence, to keep all these programs going, which I think are moving in the right direction,
Yes.
they're getting a lot of it, we have to do the fundraising.
Right.
And I know I'm the capital campaign director. We need an executive director. We need it to be full-time. I mean, right now we have a promotion for our executive director,
It's
right?
so good, too. Yep.
So the promotion for Mr. Simonian's 90th birthday, which for everybody it's May 1st, it benefits you and it benefits the Lions Pride Endowment Fund, right?
Really
so
does,
if they give $90,
You get a membership,
Yep.
and then a portion of that will go to the campaign, which is amazing. And it's twofold, because then you have this connection with the membership. You'll get the Lions Pride,
Yep.
which keeps us connected to everything. It's a wonderful magazine publication right now that comes out that talks about all the things that people are doing who are in the Alumni Association. And then you sort of support Mr. Simonian and his birthday, which is a great sort of combination.
And going back to the Lions Pride, I mean, that's expanded. If people
Yes.
were haven't renewed their membership and they said, oh, that magazine, the writers right now for the Lions Pride, some of the feature articles, I don't know if you read the Frank Marley one about him at McFarland and the whole thing.
Yes.
The class of 67, I think he was in, or something like that. I mean, what a great story.
It is.
But then for Giving Day, if anybody was watching Facebook and all our promos, I mean, the young man, Justin Camara, who is a senior.
Yes.
And they did the whole feature. And I didn't even know it was going to be in the Lions Pride, but there he was. I mean, So I think even some of the stories now in the Lions Pride, that's even expanded.
It really is.
Yeah.
And it's eye-opening because one thing that was really interesting is all of the, officials in our town. There's a lot of people, serving our community and our town that were alumni, and they were just featured like Chief Ryan and Spinney and all like it's incredible.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even know, but like isn't it ironic like they're right around the same time and stuff.
Yeah.
So all these articles that are available, it's sort of eye-opening to who's right around you. All these really important people that we're surrounded by, and they're all alumni.
And I have to give a shout out. I mean, maybe it kept her young, but she's still alive, but 99 years old. The woman was in my grandmother's class in 1937, and she said that it would be her last class Asian notes.
That's right.
And I was like, well, I guess you get to retire at 99.
I feel like you've done,
from the Lions Pride. Can you imagine that, though?
No, I can't. I can't even. No, I can't.
And it was a fun story to read, like, and be like, okay, at 99, we don't expect you to do much more for your class. Like, that's incredible.
But if that doesn't demonstrate the roots, I'm not sure what would. You're right? So
that's true.
Yeah, it's
so
awesome.
some of the things. So they had the cornhole in October. We just had Giving Day.
Which was great, yeah.
Yeah, I think the Giving Day, again, was phenomenal. I mean, from all the social media stuff and all the comments and things and all the donors. I mean, we had over about 120 donors, but going out to the venues, I think, was fun.
It was great, and actually, the participation. We were at the Brick House, and it was so nice to see all those friendly, familiar faces. Like you mentioned, all the deans. That was great.
Yeah.
And then over to Sal's, which was great, and then over to the Princeton, and then that's just some really good places to be and see people that and connect everybody, which was really
well. The
nice.
Princeton was interesting too because I don't even think some people didn't know about it, but there's a whole lot of Chelmsford alums sitting at the Princeton.
There sure are.
Tuesday,
yeah, there sure are.
And I think it was trivia night too, which I think everybody's enjoying on our Facebook page.
Trivia Tuesday is great.
Tuesday. So,
Yeah.
So I think that's been pretty popular though too. So, but now we have a golf outing coming up,
which is wonderful,
and I think that's going to be the same thing. It's a day. It's May 31st. It's a day out of just Chelmsford, pretty much. I mean, I think absolutely everybody can bring their friends and family. But we're also going to have a little challenge prize for any class, whichever class brings the most alumni back.
I like it.
And so I think, because I noticed that at the cornhole, there was an alum that was commenting that there should be a prize for the alum because there was some pretty good cornhole throwers that weren't alumni, and I think the alum got a little competitive. But I think that's a CHS thing, right?
Oh, yeah. I have no doubt that is absolutely there. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's great.
So we've got the golf thing and those kind of things. But again, for membership and everything, I mean, it's just about, I think, in kind of where you came from. It is about checking out the website and saying, do I want to be a part of it?
Yeah, and it's togetherness too. I think with the golf tournament. So I am not the biggest fan of golf because I don't know how to play.
Okay.
However, I am a big fan of like tailgating and being a part of the scene, right? So
Yes.
you can go and you can just be a part of it. And you can see people maybe you haven't seen in a really long time. You can volunteer. You can do all kinds of things.
Right. You can hang out at a hole and just watch people come in and heckle.
Yeah, heckling is encouraged.
Yeah,
like I said, I'm not about to swing the clubs, but heckle I can do.
Heckle you can do,
you could be a water person. You could do whatever. You could just make a day of it, and be part of something. It feels so good to be part of the connection of Chelmsford High School. It's nice.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and the funny part is that I think we all have different stories.
Yeah.
And I think the other part is, and I got this comment a lot based on some of the interviews we did, Facebook Live and those kind of things, was, oh my God, I would love to see the deans. And the funny part is, they go to almost every one of the events.
They really do. Yeah.
I mean, besides class reunions, they always go to those. But I think, Dean Quinn and his whole family, and, I guess I'm supposed to call him Ed, but I can't do that. So Dean Quinn and his whole family were at the cornhole. I mean, and I think it made it fun to meet his kids, his grandchildren. I mean, it was, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is different to see him in a different light. Like he can't yell at me anymore,
Which
or straighten me
yeah.
out.
I thought the same thing when I was sitting at the Giving Day. I thought to myself, fortunately, I was not in trouble ever, right? So I could see them and like not really have it. So it was kind of nice to see them in that light as well. But you're right, like just being around them was pretty great, and they were super influential too. Do you know what I mean? So like we saw them in this sort of academic, being the deans and stuff like
Right.
that, but then to see them sort of a little bit more humanistic outside of that and still have such a connection to high school. Like, they're not deans anymore,
Right.
but they're still present because it's just brought them so much. I think that's incredible.
And I will bring up Al Thomas. I mean, the Giving Day, it was Al Thomas and Jay Lang,
Yes.
superintendent of schools, who they really had the idea. I mean, I had other ideas about how to implement money, part of it from the Giving Day, so that we're always giving back,
Yes.
right? I mean, the Alumni Association, we want to just keep giving back to the high school students. And it really was Al and Jay that came up with the mini grant program. And in the fall, all these high school kids, if they have an idea or a new activity, there's this mini grant money now that we got from Giving Day that they can apply for and have an influence.
Yeah. And we live in a world that's changing. Everything is changing. So to have new, fresh ideas to contribute to the world around us is incredible. And to have a grant program that will fund that and provide that for people
Right.
is even bigger. It's just huge.
And it's the same thing that we were talking kind of off air too about. They could bring in great guest speakers,
Yes.
and they could use the money the way they want and share their ideas with teachers to help them. And if there's an activity after school that needs more funding, that's already been established, and so it doesn't go defunct, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They can use that money.
Yeah, it's important to make sure things don't fade away just because there's no funds to do it.
Right.
And if we have this fundraising effort, there's going to be those funds. It's huge.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think in the other thing, so lastly, I think it's a younger part that we got to get them. They have to know about it.
Yeah.
Right? Because like you said, what's going on? We need to make sure, but hopefully through the SHARE program.
Yes.
That once they're a part of SHARE, that they remember, you know what, I should be a member.
Yes.
And membership is a whopping
$10. It's $10. I think in a world that you can't even get lunch for under $10, being able to be connected to your future is pretty amazing for $10.
Yeah.
I feel so. Yeah, it's pretty great.
And
it's great.
40 for 5 years. I mean, that's pretty good, right?
Yes. I mean, I think, trying to talk to the younger people about the importance of giving back is hard, especially when you're in college. And,
Right.
you do have a lot of responsibility financially when you come out of college and things like that. But I do know that there's this, sort of drive sometimes to be able to contribute. And this is a really great way to do it because then for the donation to the fundraising effort, then you're connected, then you meet people, then it just gets bigger and bigger from there. And then you can contribute in other ways. And then eventually, maybe you could give back to the community when you are able to
Right.
do it. But you have to start somewhere. And $10 is pretty reasonable to start, I feel.
Now, I'm not going to shortchange it, but it's Joe LaFave and somebody else.
Oh, yes. Yeah, the
His
LaFave
brother.
family.
The
Yes,
LaFave
yes. Joey
family. So
LaFave, yes.
They're my youngest people that gave on Giving Day. And I don't know if they're influenced by their parents. That's fine. But one of them was at the SHARE night, though, too,
That's
right?
correct,
I mean,
yes.
he's a college student.
Correct, yes.
And it was great for him to be there.
Yes, and and I will say, it's really important. So I can speak for the LaFaves because they have a really, they're incredible parents, but they do encourage their kids to give back, which is and they've done lots of things. I know they're in the neighborhood and they've done the Project 300 from McCarthy and anything they can do to be in the community. But it was amazing to see them, and I thought to myself, first of all, that's good parenting, but second of all, how great at a young age to see. And they were a part of seeing the speakers, which were, I think I spent the whole time like this. I just couldn't believe how awesome everybody was.
Oh, at the SHARE night?
At the SHARE night,
Yeah.
and they were there for that. So that was excellent. The LaFaves are great. Yeah.
Right, but those were my young givers.
Yes.
But I think they know the importance. Okay, I'm in.
Yes.
And I can use these experiences, and I can network with alum.
Yeah.
Because number one, it's always easier, as you and I are finding, right? We speak the same language.
We really
right now.
do. Yeah, we really do. It's amazing.
And we haven't known each other that long. I mean, you've only been on the board for a year and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But we speak CHS, I guess.
Correct. That is an absolute language. That's a great way to put it. We do. Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
But so again, I think that the younger people, and I think probably after the prom or those kind of things, or around graduation,
Definitely.
that we've got to find a way.
Yes, don't lose touch because it's going to be really important to your future. Had I had this opportunities, I would know already about all these things, but I wasn't aware of it. But now's a chance where you can be. Stay connected, contribute, make things better, and for the next generation after that, and we'll all be together. It's great.
Right. And I bring that up too, and we've kind of talked about it, but another thing about the Alumni Association is the scholarship thing. But, I think that's been a connection. I mean, talk about different people and how they connect if they've lost a classmate or those kind of things through that. And I think that's all the same kind of thing, right? That everybody wants. So between sharing, right? So I could be a mentor to a young high school person, or creating a scholarship, or the Lions Link, you have a company, or you need employees, those kind of things. I mean, that certainly is a big thing. And it makes life easier.
Way easier. And the scholarships are available to alumni. So it's for everybody. It's for continuing furthering your education, which Chelmsford High School is a big advocate for. Keep going, learn more, do all these things. And if you can get some assistance along the way, it's an application. Try it, get that, help. So it's great.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that we've talked a lot about all the different programs, and just kind of getting people on the whole perspective of why they need to give.
Yes.
Again, we do need an executive director. I mean, over 125 scholarships. You just can't keep organizing all of that without somebody being right on it, and taking care of it, and the scholarships, so the Hall of Fame dinner. But these other programs, from Share to, it takes time and energy.
It certainly does. And it's too important not to have somebody in control of it, because it's too important to let go or to not have that. Yeah, for sure.
And I think I would have said the same thing if nobody was really interested in some of the events or showing up. And I think the Share program or Giving Day, if people weren't willing, then I would say, oh, there's not enough alumni. Man, we have a lot of alumni.
A ton.
Just asking questions like, how can I help?
Yes.
I bring up Peter Reynolds, and maybe I should bring up every artist, because I'm always in awe.
Yeah.
But, a simple email like, hey, can you update the Lion? And we've got the golf thing. Can you put a club in his hand? And somebody that's as busy as him.
Yes.
100%. To take the time and be like, oh, I'll give anything to the alumni.
It's huge. And when you're in the, sort of very vulnerable time in your life, you're getting out of high school, you're going to college, most people truly don't have 100%, they don't know. But if they say, for example, they want to be a lawyer, right? And so you say, I don't know what kind of lawyer, I just have an interest in law. Well, if you had this connection with the Alumni Association, the link, or, the Share program, then you have some options. You can say, well, I was thinking of maybe, child law or something like that, or real estate law. You have these people to talk to. And the number one thing, you already have something in common. You already went through Chelmsford. You already have that starting point. It's huge.
And really if you're coming back to Chelmsford anyways, after your sophomore year, that's a great time to get an internship.
Huge.
It's
huge.
Spend the summer in Chelmsford, and go to a law office or whatnot. And we certainly have enough alum in the area and those kind of things. So
Unbelievable.
To make that happen. So, so our goal, I guess, is to ask everybody
absolutely.
to become members.
Become a member, because it's going to be so important to you now and later. So yes, become a member, make that commitment for $10. Just get involved, and you'll see all the benefits that come from it, and you'll just be really, really thankful that you did that.
Right.
Yeah.
And I have to be honest, I'm really excited about the golf. Because we've got so many great committee members, from Tom Curran to Buddy McCurry, Moira Cox, Bowser, Lynn Jarvis, Smith, and Mark Hooley. I mean, the ideas. I don't know if this could be the greatest. It could be like, I don't know, MORP. Because I love the MORP.
Oh my gosh, the MORP. I love that you just said that.
The best events at,
that's
at
amazing.
High.
Yes.
I know the prom is great, but those kind of things.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
But anyways, for everybody, if they watch our show or need to, stay up on it, it's our Facebook page or the alumni website, chsalumni.org.
Yes.
We just really need people to make sure, and everything is there for membership, right?
Yes, and go and just have a look, see of all the things. And if you've heard of the Hall of Fame dinner and you've never been, go see what it's about. Just kind of check things out.
Or nominate somebody.
That's a good one too. There's all this talent around. If you know somebody who is deserving of some kind of recognition, I can tell you this year's Alumni Hall of Fame was just incredible. It was incredible to see the pride, that came from it. It's just such Lions pride.
Lions pride.
Yes.
So, anyways, I'm so glad that you and I got together today.
Me too. Thank you so much.
CHS. I think we did a pretty good job. But for everybody watching the show, again, you're watching it to find out more about the Alumni Association. So thanks for tuning in. please, in any way that you can give back, and it doesn't have to be financially.
No,
I mean, if
it
you want
doesn't.
to be a volunteer, join us in any of our activities as volunteers. Attend board meetings if you really want to know more about it, or you're interested in becoming members. I'm sure we'll take more volunteers and
Yes.
board members and whatnot. So to all our listeners and everybody, again, check out the website, watch us on Facebook, and again, everybody be proud. And I think you said it best. You know, we all have Lions pride, and we gotta all roar.
I agree. I agree.
Thank you
Yes.
again. It was
Thank
a
you
great
for having me.
time. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.